Starting it now, baby. Huh? Yeah. Okay, that was weird. I'm... It's Halloween. I want to play at least one spooky game. And before... Probably that one with the puzzles. It was like $5 or whatever. But before I do that, I have to finish Ace Attorney... This one, at least. Ace Attorney 4. We are so close to the end. Shoot. Sunshine Coliseum. I mixed up the... Also, Dead by Daylight. I'm playing, Dead by Daylight because FOMO and live service games and the Battle Pass. That shit looked like the Battle Pass. Well, this is a blast from the distant past. I'm not doing voices. And we'll see, maybe in the future. Long time no see, Mr. Ballard. 7 years has it been. Frankly, I didn't think I'd ever see you again. Actually, I came because there's something I want to ask you. I've spoken to the press. I have nothing more to say. I've spoken to a lot of people myself, and come to some conclusions. But then I realized, I needed to hear it from you. I have walked a difficult road these past 7 years. Because you couldn't perform Magnifi's repertoire, do not be deceived. Valiant skill is the real deal. I did not require my mentor's hand-me-downs. No, it was my partner who slowed me on my way. Zach Gramarye, his rather well-performed disappearing act 7 years ago, was the end. Or so I thought. Zach Gramarye murdered our mentor and fled to escape punishment for his crime. You said something to that effect 7 years ago, didn't you? I remember it as if it were only yesterday. Yet that was not the way of it in the end. For while he vanished, the suspicions upon my own person never did. His partner Zach vanished to protect him. That's what those thieving magpies of a press said. I had no idea. Yet that very same press comes to me now, feigning interest. They cover the greatest magic show in history as if it were a vaudevillian distraction. And here I must stand, smiling at them all. What am I if not a player in some fiendish farce? Might I suggest it's because you never made it clear what happened? Magnifi's death is still a mystery to this day. Which is why I came here to get the answer from you. Ha! Cyclops, I knew it! You're the real killer! You sick fuck! I knew I'd be seeing these sooner or later. The audience has no business stepping upon the stage. They must be content to sit and stare at the spotlight. That sounds an awful lot like something I heard 7 years ago. Okay. What do I have? Fuck. Oh, right, it's... Magatama. Who knows, maybe I'll be able to get it off the bat. It's only 2 locks. Magnifi's death. Ask what you will, you'll get nothing from me. I'm as much a part of this affair as you are now. I have to know what happened. For 7 long years I've endured. Now, finally, the curtain lifts on my new golden age. All the miracles of our troop within my grasp. Sorry to do this route, but right now I need answers. I think I'll start by dropping a bomb. That should shake things up. Valen, I wouldn't be so sure about those miracles. Not as long as I have this. What, something that disproves a miracle? What? Oh! And what might that be? Don't just present that. You know what's gonna happen. He's gonna knock you out and take it. Stop presenting sensitive information to people you don't... who are within their power to fuck your life. Bing bong, bing bong. I see it bears the Gramarye seal. I should have brought this to your attention sooner, but I didn't imagine you'd be planning your comeback quite so fast. What is this? A document showing the true recipient of the performance rights to Magnifi's miracles. What? Zach Gramarye, he wrote this? What? He passed everything to his daughter? Chusi Enigmar. Actually, she's officially my daughter these days. Oh, congratulations. Preposterous! Zack is gone, vanished into the void. This is the genuine article. Zack was alive when he wrote this. Both myself and the notary can testify to this. Nice. Why does fate toy with me so? Why must my life be lived in thrall to the dead? You're not the only one with that problem. But he shot Magnifi. Yes, it was Zack. It was. And then he left, and my career as a magician fell into darkness. Do you think there might be some way out of it? Say, if you could prove Zack Gramry shot Magnifi? Was that why you testified? Yes, my way out. It should have been my way out. Well, it might not be too late, Mr. Valent. All you need is a way to prove your case. Who really killed Magnifi Gramry? Oh, shoot. Oh! Damn it. Okay, so it's not, You! Bump, 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 bump. Well, by the you, Freddy's a signed confession, even if the confession is a fake. Okay, so they're just spoon-feeding it to me because I'm a fucking idiot. So this is the evidence. Oh, you fucking. What happened to the original? There was the original, right? Is it the diary? Okay, I only got 2 options. I only got 2 tries left. Save so you can. Ah, motherfucker. Hold on. A fake confession. Ah, okay. I am at my wit's end. Let's try Juice Studio. Maybe I can get some shit from... Oh, right. This is when he died. Well, what do we have here? Oh, this motherfucker. Remember me?
Of course I remember you. A journalist meets ex-attorney in bar. End quote.
Can I ask what you're doing here? Mr. Measham was poisoned and his daughters...
Oh, yes, I know. Oh, how I know.
Yes. He's the killer.
It's caused me no end of grief, to be honest. Journalist wishes he tracked down case just a little quicker. End quote.
Were you on the trail of this case the whole time?
Zack Gramry was a good friend.
Zack said something to that effect back at the Borscht Bowl Club.
What a character. What a man. If a little, no, a lot, no, extremely rough around the edges.
Do you think I could ask you a few questions?
No? You serious? I mean, I'm usually the interviewer, not the interviewee. Journalist asks questions, not other way around. End quote. Fine, shoot, I don't care. People have been asking me all sorts of things lately.
The family of forgers. It was tragic what happened to Drew Measham and his daughter.
Forgery is a serious crime, and they paid the price. You know what really did them in, though, don't you?
Yes, a forged diary page.
The night I interviewed him, I found out something about Mr. Measham I hadn't known.
What's that?
You know, he always felt like he was being watched every day for 7 years. The walls have ears, potatoes have eyes. End quote.
Being watched. You mean he felt guilty?
No, I'm not talking about feelings here.
Huh?
You know, I felt watched too. The whole time I've been on this case, no less. Journalist gets tingling sensation on back of neck, freaks out. End quote.
Because you felt guilty.
Why would I feel guilty?
You felt like you were being watched, huh? I wonder what it all means. Tell me more about your paranoia. Drew Measham felt like he was being watched, and you along with him. You sure it wasn't just nerves?
Nerves? No, it's nothing so mundane.
Oh, good.
I stopped paying attention to my nerves a long time ago. But I felt it too. Journalist, sure he is being watched. End quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Gramery got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me?
That would be a good reason to be paranoid, you know, if a guy you talk to just, like, dies the next day. It's like, oh, God.
He completely vanishes from that courtroom. Then, for 7 years, he talks to no one, not a soul.
I mean, what's the rate of being framed for murder in this country? How many murder... and, you know, this is based on Japan, where, like, the conviction rate is 97% or whatever. Anyone could go to jail at any time. Unless they have Phoenix Wright as their lawyer, they're fucked. So, yeah, what my point is... Maya's right to be anxious.
Then, just as the remaining time was almost up, he contacts me in order to have this made. And then he
oh, fuck! And then he dies.
Starting to put the pieces together, are we?
And you were being watched this whole time?
Maybe not just me. Maybe you were too.
Me? Me? What? Omawamu. Shinderu. Oh, ha, 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 ha. We was robbed. Well, that is gonna kill you. But me, what? Omawamu. Shinderu. Noni?
Waited for his big comeback, of course. A big revival of the Magnifi Miracle. Of course it was all true.
Because of this, the performance rights.
In the absence of any official documents, he was golden. Who's to say the old man didn't give his rights to both Zach and Valen?
So Valen waited until Zach died, legally at least.
Time finally comes, and Valen's like a kid on Christmas morning.
He's getting ready for his show at the Sunshine Coliseum, you know.
If that document sees the legal light of day, it's going to put a bit of a damper on the big show. He's a sorry one, that Valen Gramery. Lost out to his partner at work, and in love, too.
Love?
It's the same old story, really. 2 disciples and their mentor's only daughter. What has 3 sides and all of them pointy? A love triangle.
That is a pretty classic.
When you're in a performance troupe, that's your world. It's like family. One with an entire high school's worth of drama, intrigue, and backstabbing.
And in the middle of all this, the last Thalassa has truth to see. And then she dies. I need to find out more about this Thalassa. Maybe I can present... could you take a look at this?
I met Zach through that case, actually.
You mean the shooting of Magnifi Gramery?
No, before that. It's not widely known.
You mean the accident during the Quickdraw shooting practice?
My, you're well informed. You should have seen me back then. I dug up quite the scoop. I wanted it all. Money, fame, women, a little puppy, all for me. I was younger then, and my days and nights smelled of fresher mint than they do now.
How old is this goober? 36? Oh, okay. What about me? No. Valen Gramery did mention one particularly nosy reporter.
In fact, I was on close speaking terms with the Magnifi Gramery at the time. I knew his daughter, too, of course. Thalassa, was it?
Really? Really?
Then Thalassa disappeared, quite suddenly at that.
This is the right stuff. Clean your gamer gear. Really, dudes and dudettes.
And Magnifi wouldn't say a word about it. Yeah, my evil habit got the better of me. Journalist catches scent of a scoop, goes on feed in a frenzy. End quote. I set up a one-on-one interview with Thalassa's husband, see?
Zach Grammary.
Something strange was in the air over at Shoop Grammary in those days. The whole screwy mentor control and disciple scene started by then, I'm guessing. Thalassa, she was part of it all, right?
Come on, you can tell me off the record. Come on. Sorry, I don't know.
Anyway, I kept prying and eventually became friends with Zach. Sure, he punched me once or twice, or 5 times. But over time, he came to see me as his confidant, his best friend, his right-hand arm man, his silly rabbit.
His what?
His silly rabbit.
Is that what he calls you?
No.
Someone's been doing a thing. It's doing the... I just have to do that when I see this pose. I can't believe it's been 7 years. I have to stop torturing myself with these things. I know, I'll just pretend it's saying something else. The post office? Why, it's right over there. Good day, sir. The post office! It's right over there. Good day, sir. Good joke. This envelope's from the client who requested that forgery. Just think, if that had gone lost in the mail, I'd still be wearing my attorney's badge. I imagine Phoenix, secretly celebrated when he found out Misham died. Oh, the guy who cost me my career is dead. I mean, oh no, what a tragedy. They're smiling. They look happy. Not the dickhead. What do you want me to say? And Vera's on death's doorstep in the hospital. Guess I'll just do what I can and hope it's enough. Frogman? Oh, no, sorry.
I was the first human being ever to set foot inside the studio. Other than Mr. Misha, of course. And Vera, too. And this is assuming that I'm human, of course.
What the fuck? I'm beginning to have my doubts. Yeah, we need to get the fuck out of here right now. You! Where is she? No, wait. You can't just go back in time. He's dead. Ah, motherfuck. Mr. Brushel, do you know this person?
Do I know that person? Of course. I was friends with Zach, after all. He hit me a few times. 5 times, actually. But still, I'd never forget his wife.
Thalassa Grammary. Magnifi Grammary's only daughter. Do you think you could tell me more about her?
Well, why the heck not? So, Thalassa married Zach and had Trucy, see? It was her second marriage, actually.
That'll be important. Remember that. You mean she was divorced? I haven't heard this one before.
Not quite. Her late husband was a performer, too.
Widow.
Apparently he died during some gig. Tragic, really. They had only been married 1 year.
I didn't know.
But she was a beauty. I still carry a portrait photo of her around, you know.
Awooga. say she looks familiar, doesn't she?
I've known Trucy since she was a little thing, too.
Who the fuck are you, dude?
She got the better deal, really. She's got you for family, after all.
What do you mean? What else do you know?
I know who actually shot John F. Kennedy. Just reminiscing, you know. Thalassa has another child besides Trucy. End quote.
What? But Trucy said she was an only child.
Ah, yes. This one she had with her previous husband.
The plot thickens. Her previous husband. Her first husband who died during a performance?
Yep, they had themselves a kid. Another orphan now. That's another one who slipped through the cracks. No idea where they are now.
Thalassa had another child. Do you think I could borrow that photo?
Sure, I can be generous on occasion, you know.
I won't need this locket anymore. Better return it to Trucy before I forget.
People and events all get tangled together and get bigger and bigger. Don't you think?
I was too busy wondering about Biggerbert to listen to what you were saying.
Sometimes you just gotta accept that you won't be able to untangle it all, I think.
Maybe so, but still. I have to do what I can, and I have to tell what I find to those who come next.
Next, you say?
I'm not the one who will close the curtain on this little play. Apparently that's not my role anymore. Not until the next game, Magnifient.
I was just wondering what Magnifient would think of all this.
What do you mean?
Haven't you seen it in Trucy? She's got his power.
You mean how I can't lie to Trucy?
It was the same with Magnifient, and with his daughter, Thalassa.
It's a strange thing. You think it's some grammar gene?
Magnifient told me once, back when Zack married Thalassa, he said Zack had good eyes. But not good like a Grammy's eyes, not that good.
I wonder if Zack ever played a game of poker with his wife. What? Who knows what the Grammary secret was?
Maybe nobody now that Zack's gone.
Zack Grammary. The plot had finally begun to reveal itself. It sprouted from a warp in the Grammary fabric and grew, swallowing everything. Wrapping itself around the Grammary's power. A power which passed from Magnifi Grammary to Thalassa to the next generation. And I would once again need to meet the one who bridged it all together. He dead. Oh! Okay, first of all, second of all, it's time to crack this egg.
I'm making the mother of all omelets here, Zack.
Can't thread over a few eggs. Yada yada yada. Suck it. Yeah, that's right. Suck it. Her! Mother! Ah! Game over. Of course, you don't actually get a game over. So what are you gonna do? Die of a heart attack in the while investigating? Oh my god. Tell me about your wife, bro. Asshole. Okay. Oh, son of a bitch. guess I'll talk about my day. 2 days ago, I ordered Popeyes, but the thing was, it was so... Oh, maybe I'll do that for lunch today. Yeah, some shit about they were delayed. It took like 30 minutes. Then they were delayed. Then they were postponed. And so I got a refund. I mean, it was late at night. But luckily, there was a late-night place that I could order from. I got a cheeseburger with grilled onions and bacon, curly fries, and a chocolate goddamn milkshake. Burger, fries, and milkshake. Nothing is better than that. I have to know more about this power of Trucy's. It's like she can see right into people's minds. First time I saw her do it, it blew mine. Kabloom. And after you're done having your mind blown, you took her to play cards with you. Gotta use the resources at hand, I always say. Yet, I myself have no such power. But Trucy does. Why is that? Maybe Trucy got her power from her mother, Thalassa Gramarye. I will not speak of that. Thalassa is officially missing, correct? And I think I know why you don't want to talk about her. Oh my god! The fucking incident! The gun! The three of you were a team once. Not that the entire country doesn't already know this. At your peak, you were the biggest stars around. At your peam. Yet, there's another story behind the fame. One that not many know. Thalassa lost her life during a rehearsal. To you and Valiant Gramarye's bullets. It was an accident. It wasn't me. How could I shoot my dear Thalassa? I'm sure Valiant would say the same thing. Why, it's just like another murder I might mention. Damn you. Her eyes. I loved Thalassa's eyes. To think they could read my mind was frightening. Yet there was a warmth in them that felt like an embrace. She is dead. And Magnifique Gramarye joined her. So the only one with her power left now is Trucy? I do not know. I don't need any power to see through that one, buddy. So there's someone else. Someone other than Trucy. Someone who inherited Thalassa's power. How would I know? My chances are slim. It would take a miracle to learn the truth. Or maybe one has already occurred. There is someone else with the power, and I know who. Apollo? This boy? His name is... I forgot. Something weird. You fucker. Who could he be? An attorney. Attorney? I noticed him when I went to visit a friend's law offices. So, what are we to make of this, oh great ex-attorney? No, that's my grandfather. You can show me pictures of strange boys all you like. That's a screenshot. But you could at least say something like, I'm this boy. I could use a laugh. Perhaps you wouldn't laugh if you knew the facts. This might not be 100% proof, but it's close. There's a link between this boy and Thalassa. Actually, it's more of a ring. A ring? Perhaps this will refresh your memory. I just happen to have evidence showing this missing link. What? No, I don't. Link. Are we talking about a ring? Like a thingy? Guess I don't have the evidence yet. It's not at Juice Studio. Okay, Mother Shucker. What's up, Mother Shuckers? I'm Colonel Cornelius Cornwall, and I'm here to tell you about corn. Corn is a cereal grain, also known as maize, because it's easy to get lost in its incredible flavor. Side effects of corn include choking, I guess. Come down today and try some corn, or we will sacrifice your newborn. I am literally at 0 health. If I do it again, I'm going to die. It's not literally a ring, god damn it. It's not literally a ring or a link, it's the photo. This is intentionally misleading. It's like, this might get your stamp of approval. This clue might be right under your nose. It's the candlestick. What the fuck are you doing? What is this? What are you doing? Actually, I know something. Your marriage to Thalassa was her second. How did you know this? Her first husband. He died a year after they were wed, yes? He was a performer. They met when he joined us Grammys as a guest in our show. After Thalassa wed him, she left the troupe for a while. And you say she had a child then. I have a photograph of her here. Not the child, her. I couldn't help but notice what she was wearing when I first saw this. Oh! Those bracelets stand out. Oh! They are a Grammary family heirloom. This boy wears a bracelet just like the ones in the picture. What? So, that's why. Why what, Mr. Zack? I took this photograph of Thalassa before she left us. When she returned, she wore only one bracelet. I bet I know where that other one went. She gave it to this boy, her son. Unlock successful. Oh, thank God. Now, spill the beans, bitch! This strange power. I myself do not know from where it comes. Yet the fact is that it is passed down the Grammary line. It runs in their veins. What is it? I asked her, Thalassa, once. This is what she told me. Her power responds to tension in others. Tension? Like the homoerotic tension between a lawyer and a prosecutor. If she were to face a person and they became tense even slightly, then she would know no matter how hard they tried to hide it from her. So she could see it. Not quite. This is the strangest part of it all. She wouldn't realize that she was subconsciously detecting this tension. Without the use of a particular object, or in her case, objects. Objects? Wait, were they something she wore? Yes. Her bracelets. I admit the first time I saw one of those, I felt it was more to it than just fashion. But what kind of power could a bracelet have? I have made a decision. I will tell you all I knew. Consider it a gift. Trucy and Apollo. Well, I hardly need you to tell me at this point, but those two. Our brother and sister, yes. And the brother, too, has this power of theirs. So Trucy has an older brother. I wonder what will come of that. Mr. Wright, tonight, after our game is done, I will return to a life of hiding. I would not see her live her life without knowing. I understand. I'll tell the two of them when the time is right. So that means Apollo is your son, Phoenix. I am in your debt once again. No kidding. What I want to know is how all this got to be so messed up. Those bracelets are made of a special alloy. It is said to expand and shrink very slightly in response to body warmth. So they're temperature sensitive or something. Yes, this is how they can shrink to the exact size of their wearer's wrist. And this has something to do with the power. What have I told you? The Grammary power reacts to tension in others. When a Grammary senses tension, they too become tense. This tension translates into minute contractions of the muscles. So minute they cannot sense it on their own. Their muscles? Oh, so that's what the bracelets are for. With a bracelet on, one can sense these contractions. Because the bracelet is always a perfect fit. So when the person they're watching gets tense, the bracelet feels tighter on their wrist. Precisely. Now that alone doesn't really count as mind reading. I believe I understand how the process works from there. It's a simple question of eyesight. Eyesight. I guess that sounds simple enough. Have you ever heard of kinetic vision? Something about the ability to see moving objects with full clarity, right? Yes, everyone knows about that. I've heard of it before. They say that athletes can see a moving ball like it was stopped if they focus. But it's not confined to sports alone. It all relies on the ability to focus. When we focus, we can see many things. The faintest twitch of the face, and the meaning that lies behind it. Therein lies one of the secrets of magic. One must know the mind of a crowd before one may distract it. So basically, what you're saying is, the Grammys can see really well. For them, seeing is more than believing, it is knowing. Their power relies on eyesight combined with exceptional focus. Things are starting to come into focus for me too. Of course, it is difficult to maintain such levels of focus for any length of time. But what if someone could tell you when to focus? Or something? Precisely. But wait, Trucy doesn't have any bracelets. You are talking about poker, yes? The timing of when to focus is so elementary, she probably does it without thinking. I doubt Trucy herself has realized this. That is all I know of things Grammary. Thank you, Mr. Zack. If this boy's bracelet is the real thing, then he will use it before long, thereby awakening his power. I'll keep that in mind. Well, shall we play a game? I've said so much. Let me say one more thing. I will tell you of that night. That night? The night my mentor, Magnifi Grammary, passed from this world to the next. There were 2 pistols and 2 letters sent. This was Magnifi's test. A test. In his last years, Magnifi Grammary worked us to the bone. No, to the pain. But that night, I could not shoot him. So I shot the clown's forehead instead. This, it seems, was the correct answer. Take this. I give my art to you, Zack. What? It is thanks for playing along with my show. You shot well tonight, Zack, though I would not have minded dying by your hand. How could I shoot you? You're my mentor. I thought you might say that. If I went home without shooting anything, what would you have done then? Then, of course, I would have given Valent his chance. And if I had shot you in the forehead instead, it would be over. You or Valent were to shoot me in the head. Then I to the darkness would go, and my art with me. A fitting end, don't you think? Yet this ending too gives me no cause for regret. I thank you, Zack. And I am sorry. I have done much that was wrong in my day. Seems to me that Magnifi wanted you to be a successor all along. That's why the time he gave you was earlier than Valent's. Perhaps, but it is not something we will ever know for sure now. I wonder, what is Valent up to these days? Waiting for you to die. Jesus fucking... If 7 years pass like this, the performance rights go to him. And now here I am, and his dream is ended. It's worse than that, actually. Public opinion's a fickle thing, you know. What? You don't mean to tell me they've put the blame for our mentor's death on him? It's what he deserves. The trial ended when you vanished, Mr. Zack. There were even rumors that Valent had helped you pull it off. But that's madness. Well, it seems that before it can once again disappear from this world, I have one more act to perform. Why do you give a shit? Isn't it odd that sorting out my life should prove so complicated? Even though I'm dead. That night, Zack Grammary was killed. He died as Shady Smith, a mysterious traveler with a secret past. But he left one thing behind before he parted. This. His confession to use as I saw fit. Of course he'd killed no one. This was his way of tying up loose ends with his old partner, Zack Grammary. Oh my god, he's taken the blame just so his partner can have a chance at a career. That's true broship. That's true bromance right there. Okay. Okay, so Cyclops. Come on, man. Here we go. I believe I have the answer to your prayers right here. Zack Grammy wrote one more thing before passing on. This is a confession, in which he admits to the killing of Magnifi Grammary. See? All according to your plan. All according to Keikaku. I am a magician by trade. Deception is my life's work. I fool the audience, give them a fleeting dream. Yet it seems the tables have turned. Now I am the audience, believing in the deceptions I have wrought upon myself. Zack wrote this right in front of me, after I explained your situation to him. Alakazoo MG! Yay! You do know that this confession is nothing but lies. Yes, it's my opinion that Zack Gramry killed no one. Then you must be thinking the truth is a simple matter of elimination. 2 received instructions to kill, but if 1 is innocent, then the one who remains is guilty. That would be the logical conclusion, yes. So he vanished to protect me, his partner. A stirring tale, 'tis true. Did you shoot Magnifi Grammar in the forehead? If I had, and I told you, what would you do? Run to the police, perchance? Do as you will. There is nothing left for me now. It is true, after all. I have little talent. I needed my mentor Magnifi's repertoire. It was as if a little demon grabbed hold of me. I knew it, so Valiant Grammary did kill the great Magnifi. Oh. So sorry, Mr. Wright, but it was not I who shot my mentor. Oh, okay. But if it wasn't you, then who was it? The clown. There wasn't another disciple, was there? Another disciple, such as, I don't know, Neck and Talent Grammary, maybe? Your wild fancies couldn't be further from the truth. Only Zack and Valiant received those threatening letters. But there was another. One more person could have fired that pistol that night. I don't suppose you've figured it out by now? If it wasn't Zack or Valiant who shot Magnifi, then it had to be the only other person at the scene, which means... Wait, you don't mean... Yes, the great Magnifi Grammary himself. Oh, I thought it was Spark Brushel. So Magnifi Grammary committed suicide? Why was that not the first guess, you motherfuckers? Shouldn't they have checked it for fingerprints? This incompetent ass... Anyway, you find it hard to believe? To be honest, I hadn't even imagined it as a possibility. When I arrived that night, the old man was still alive. Like, if anything, suicide... It should be easy to make a murder look like a suicide. I'll get you, and it'll look like a bloody accident. He appeared to be asleep. I could not shoot him, but when I turned and made him leave the room, the old man called out to me. So you spoke with Magnifi Grammar? Yes, and this is why I knew what he had done. Magnifi transferred the rights to his repertoire to my partner, Zack Gramry, not me. I see. Then I guess I owe you an apology. I always thought you were the one who did it. You owe me no apology. Why didn't you just testify that Gramry shot himself if you were there? My crime was in a way more serious than that of murder. What? Your crime? Is Valiant Gramry confessing something to me? What could be more serious than murder? You see, I knew that 2 letters had been sent. There were no secrets between partners. It was easy to find out. Obstruction of justice. That was when I understood Magnifi's plan. He wanted to die by one of your hands? Little did I expect it had anything to do with the rights to his repertoire. That was when I heard it. The little demon whispered inside my heart. The demon? Let me confess, I had intended to shoot Magnifi. And I planned on framing my partner for the crime. What? That night, I prepared something before going to Magnifi's hospital room, which was IV fluid, of course. I'd seen it on an earlier visit. If Zack did not shoot, I would do the deed. Then, I would use the IV liquid to place the murder on his hands. That was my plan. But you didn't shoot him. That's obstruction of justice, tampering with evidence, that's a crime. And that also means he did perjury. I could not. The demon in my heart fled when the moment came. But then Magnifi called me back. Yada yada yada. Mamma mia. Giving my magic to Zack. Yep. I left the room, and then I stopped. The shock of what I had just been told consumed me. That is when I heard that fateful gunshot. Magnifi Gramarye killing himself. Then the demon awoke anew within me. Zack killed him. He was the one. Frame him and the magic will be yours. I altered the scene of his suicide. I took the pistol from his hand, wiped off the prince, motherfucker! And then I used the syringe to add the IV liquid I'd brought. So in the end, things happened pretty much as planned. Magnifi died and you framed Zack for his murder. As planned indeed. Of course, the outcome was somewhat different than I had anticipated. Well, what do you think? Do you believe my story? Can it be believed truly? That was 7 years ago. I don't know what to believe. But, yes, I'm glad I heard it from you, Mr. Valiant. Thank you. It is I who should be thanking you, Mr. Wright. Only when I'd lost everything could I make my decision. You're going to turn yourself in? My partner may have vanished, but not so my guilt. And as my guilt stays, all else begins to leave me. My friends, my performance rights, my magic. I've had enough of vanishing acts. I understand. I thought my life was ruled by a dead man. But I find I was wrong. For Zack Gramarye was alive. Well, not anymore. And now it occurs to me. What if he was not the only one who survived? What do you mean? You see, now that I think about it, I realize that we never saw proof of her demise. We never saw her body. Her? The mind races and the mouth flaps on. My apologies, forget this matter. I can only hope that the day will come when I meet again my partner, Zack Gramarye. Then I shall apologize for my terrible mistake. I am glad we had this chance to talk. Thank you. Zack Gramarye, Shady Smith, whichever you prefer, he is no longer with us. The truth revealed in that trial was only a sliver, and the impenetrable darkness that remained has taken another life. I knew what I'd have to do to push back the darkness for good, and it would involve paying that man a visit. One more to go! Sorry, sir. Prisoner Christoph Gavin is currently occupied. I see. Do you know when he'll be finished? Well... Could you go find out? Certainly, sir. Please wait here a moment. My apologies to the guard, but there's something I need to see. This envelope. What's in there? There it is. The yellow envelope. And the sender is Drew Measham. I was right.
When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Measham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. It was a yellow envelope. I heard it was left at the crime scene.
Why is this here? If this is the last letter that Drew Measham wrote, then there's something I need to do. The last thing I need to do, in fact. Here goes! Let's see if this atroquinine spray finds anything. Oh! So this was Drew Meacham's messenger of death. It was this stamp, all right, no mistaking it. And his last letter was sent to Christoph Gavin. The interview request came like you said it would, and they're looking into the case. I swear on my life I won't tell them about you. So please, release the spell you've put on my daughter. I'll write a later with a report. No, don't do anything stupid like flaunt it to Christoph Gavin. What's this? A burglar in jail. Hey, Christoph. I didn't know you moonlighted in larceny, right? Gavin, there's something I have to ask you. Can I steal your stuff? The answer is no. My apologies, but there's not much I care to discuss. Vera Meacham hasn't received her verdict yet. You follow me, Gavin? There are no known survivors of atrocinine poisoning, but it never hurts to hope. Okay, I'll be leaving now then. Right, wait. Yeah, Gavin? Would you mind leaving that letter? It's private. How about you suck my dick? Oh, sorry, I forgot I had it. Many thanks. Yeah, I would have just said suck it and make a run for it. Like, come on, man. First game, he gets tased. In the first game, you have to tase Phoenix in order to steal his evidence. Now you can just ask him nicely and he'll give it to you. If you fucking... We've now seen all the clues in this case. Clues I gathered over 7 long years. Now it is time. Every story has an ending. We've come to the final chapter, the final trial. Find the truth. You're the only ones who can. Let's just go right through this, eh? Welcome to court. 7 years, all lead into one verdict. A verdict which you must decide. And this is the defendant, Vera Meacham, innocent or guilty. The courtroom doors are opening. The trial awaits. Are you ready to begin? What is this shit? Jack into the Matrix. Something inside me, rising, surfacing. Wow. Something important. Lost long ago. It's close now. So close. October. Spooky one.
Court is now in session for the trial of Vera Meacham.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution's ready to rock.
Prosecutor Gavin, how is the defendant Vera Meacham's condition?
Acute atrocinine poisoning. According to her physician, she could die at any time. Thus, her absence from the courtroom today.
What? They can't put her on trial without her being here.
It is unusual.
They should wait for her to get better and do it then. It's so bureaucratic of them.
I would have gone with the word dystopian, but yeah, that works too, Truce. That's being a little harsh. Not harsh enough. They can't delay the trial any longer, or they risk having no one left to try. So, a trial without a verdict can only cause grief. The records of this case and experience tell us this. Apologies to the defendant, but the show must go on. Right? If Vera dies, the trial will be cancelled. I'm not going to let that happen. Mr. Wright told me everything that's been going on behind the curtain all these years. I'm going to get Vera her innocent verdict while there's still time.
Very well. Your opening statement, Prosecutor Gavin.
The prosecution's case is unchanged by recent events. Why did Vera Meacham succumb to poison? Because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she'd done. Fuck you. That's conjecture. But Vera was poisoned with atropine, the exact same poison that took her father's life. What better confession could you ask for? Oh, motherfucker. A lot of people die of heart attacks. If both of them died of heart attacks, would that be proof that she gave her father a heart attack? Being the killer, she would have access to the poison. Significant, since it's rather hard to come by.
That is true.
In other words, I see no need for further discussion. That is just... Why? That is just... a wild leap in logic. You could have had a verdict yesterday.
Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no objections... Objection! I see no reason to postpone a verdict.
What we need to worry about isn't the verdict, but the trial itself. The defense holds that Vera Measham is the victim, not the killer. If that's so, then you should have to prove something. She was in court giving her testimony before us. How do you propose her killer poisoned her? Oh, and incidentally, it would be nice if you told us who her mystery killer was.
The prosecution's objection is sustained.
If I have to hear objection and sustained one more time, I'm gonna scream. Objection. Sustained.
Ah! I ask the defense to prove its claims to this court. Tell us how Vera Measham was poisoned.
I've got two things to prove here. Who did it and how, which is to hit first. How should be easy. How did the killer poison Vera Measham? I'll focus first on the method used.
Any comments before we begin, Prosecutor Gavin?
Not a bottle or container of the poison was found on the defendant's body.
I see. So the vector of poison is unknown. Is the defense prepared to prove how the poison reached Vera Measham?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. What method was used to poison Vera Measham?
Well, it's gotta be the cup.
From what I hear, atropine takes a while before it acts on the body.
Yes, slow acting it's called.
Also, from what I hear, my penalties hurt more later than the...
Oh, fuck you! This is bullshit. So if it's not the cup, then what is it? Okay, I'm wrong again. They really made an art out of this penalty thing. So if it's not the atropine, if it's not that, it's the yellow envelope. It has to be. Oh, but that would be the one that's used on the nail polish.
What's this? Aye, what a beautiful bottle. I'd like to give whoever designed that a hat.
Is that nail polish? It's colorless. Something the matter?
No, nothing.
Nothing at all.
So the killer put poison in this bottle and made her drink it?
As Prosecutor Gavin has told us, this is nail polish.
Nail polish?
It's like paint for nails. Know any woman with red nails?
Ah, my wife has red nails. I see. So she's been painting them all this time.
Let's recall yesterday's trial. Remember when Vera was testifying to the court?
Court is now back in session.
Biting her nails. Fitting that Apollo will be the one to notice this, since, you know, he's got that keen eye for detail and he can notice everyone's toes. Whenever Vera became nervous, she had a habit of biting her nails.
Her nails? Ah!
Prosecutor Gavin. See, the judge is a bit daft, but, like, you know, he's not an idiot. He can catch on. He knows what point the defense is making. He can catch on. When the prosecution had Vera examined, did they check her nails?
Bailiff, have them check the defendant's nails at once. Mr. Justice.
Yes?
Do you know who did this? Do you know who put poison in that nail polish?
Yes. It was... That bottle belongs to Vera Measham? Not exactly. Why do you ask? Know someone else who might have a bottle like this? No, just checking. I don't even need the bracelet to know that he's lying.
Mr. Justice, you're about to accuse someone of poisoning that bottle of nail polish. Please dispense with the chatter. You realize the weight of this accusation? Here, let me show you.
Save the game. I'm not fucking this up.
Understood, Your Honor.
No problem. I know what I'm doing this time.
Then let us ask, who poisoned Vera Measham via her nail polish?
It had to have been the other person who had access to the bottle. Christoph Gavin.
What's this? Christoph Gavin?
What's your game? My bro? There's no way he could do a thing like that. You should know that better than anyone else. Indeed.
He is behind bars.
I know. However, that doesn't mean it was impossible to do what he did.
What?
Ask yourselves when he put the poison in the bottle. It could have been yesterday, it could have been a month ago. Maybe it was a year ago. Or perhaps it was 7 years ago.
But Christoph Gavin had no motive for killing this poor girl. It's simply inconceivable.
Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so. That face tells me one thing. Christoph Gavin's own younger brother doesn't find it inconceivable at all. What did I say? What did I say?
Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there's a clear and present need, then we may have to summon Christoph Gavin from jail as a special witness.
Fine. I've known for some time that an impenetrable darkness lurked at the bottom of this. A darkness that has swallowed even myself. Okay, the defense's wish is granted. Let prisoner Christoph Gavin take the stand.
Bailiff, begin proceedings to call a special witness. The witness is Christoph Gavin, currently residing in solitary cell 13 at Central Prison.
I need to get a straw. Hold on. Yeah. Ooh. Your Honor. Sorry, was that too loud, brothers? Oh, my fellas. Your Honor. How nice of you. How nice to see you again.
It's been quite a while, hasn't it?
To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? It's not every day I'm summoned from my solitary cell. In fact, it's never. I think you already know, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Mr. Justice. I hear you've been doing quite well for yourself. Why do I feel like somehow he's still my boss? Stiff upper lip, Apollo. You can do it. Does this bottle look familiar? Ariadne nail polish. Why, yes, I use it myself. As did the late defendant, I hear. She's not dead yet. Also, that's just a straight-up confession. And? Was there something concerning this bottle you wish to ask me about? I admit I respect her for her taste in nail polish. Her taste, indeed. This nail polish was how Vera Measham was poisoned. Atropine, was it?
You're well informed about the case, Mr. Gavin.
Even in solitary, much comes to my task, and I have nothing to do but read. Well, Clavier? Maybe you can explain this. You're being accused again. By him again. And? You agree with his accusation, do you?
Let's hold a proper trial, shall we? Christoph Gavin, your testimony, please.
I'd be delighted.
The charges against you are quite severe, Mr. Gavin. You are suspected of the poison of the defendant, Vera Measham. Please testify on this matter to the court.
Alright. I'm gonna grill him, George Foreman style, with onions. Owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. I have been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison you? It was found in your cell! Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The prosecution's case holds. She poisoned her father and attempted to poison herself. Motherfucker! Surely you weren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father, too.
Well, I'm afraid the defense's claim is unsounded and rather unlikely.
Naturally. I, for one, don't even know the Meashams. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice? I have proof against that.
Well, Mr. Justice, begin your cross-examination.
I'm accusing Christoph Gavin, my ex-boss, but I know he poisoned the Meashams. The question is, when could he have done it? Not to mention, why? Alright. Same nail polish does not a murderer make. Not... This seems like something that should be perceived. And I remember his tell. His fingers. His hand twitches. I've never noticed that scar before. Shit, hold on. It's gotta be this one, right? What's the... Aha! Holy shit. Gotcha! It was you who killed Drew Measham. A bluff worthy of your mentor, Mr. Wright. Oh, really? But you see, I saw it. Right when you said her father, too. Your hand tensed unnaturally, and a little devil appeared to give me the news. What the fuck? And let's assume, for the sake of argument, you saw me being tense. Fuck you, Ben Shapiro. What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? It means you're hiding something, bro. And tell me, was Drew Measham fond of nail polish too? Sorry, but there's more than one way to poison a man. You don't need nail polish to get to someone's mouth. Ah. Then I must be very talented indeed. You see, Drew Measham was killed on October 6th. While I was already in my solitary confinement cell at Central Prison. If that's not an alibi, then I don't know what is. But you found a way all the same. And I found it too. This is how you poisoned Mr. Measham. Oh boy. It's gotta be... It's the cup. No, wait. Found in the cell. It's gotta be this. Mother... This horse shit. How did the killer get to his victim when the killer was in jail? It had to have been the mailbox. Okay. I'm sure this commemorative stamp requires no introduction. The night Mr. Measham died, he was seen writing a letter. Atropine was found on this stamp, Mr. Gavin. So am I to understand the stamp was the murder weapon? Yes, you are. Oh, and yes. This stamp was found in your prison cell. Busted. That is all, Your Honor.
Order! 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 Poison on the back of the stump.
After Drew Measham was killed, someone paid a visit to this witness's cell. Phoenix Wright.
Daddy?
That's when he found the stamp. You made Drew Measham write you a letter. That's how you killed him.
What?
My. You upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Allow me to clarify this matter, Justice. All you need to do is recall Spark Brushell's testimony.
Well, that's the thing, see. After he put his letter in that envelope, Mr. Measham sat there searching his desk drawer for something.
His desk drawer?
Yes, a stamp. A so-called postage stamp. End quote.
He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp. What are you getting at? What I'm arriving at is that this commemorative stamp was in a frame. It was mere coincidence that he used it that night.
That would seem to be the case.
Or perhaps you mean to suggest that I can somehow manipulate coincidence.
He does have a point. How would this witness know if the victim was going to use that stamp? Without that, he couldn't have planned the murder. What?
Really, Clavier, you should be seeing through these weak-spined bluffs by now. He's right, though. How could anyone have known Mr. Measham would use that stamp that night? Least of all, Christoph Gavin locked away in his cell.
Well, it seems that the defense has run out of things to say.
You assume he had something to say in the first place. I believe the defense's bluff has been called. The defense's bluff? I'm not sure I agree with you there, Christoph.
Clavier.
Honestly, I wanted to believe you. But the defense wasn't trying to get away with a bluff. You were, Christoph.
Well, what are you saying, Prosecutor Gavin?
Hair forehead. What was your accusation again? Huh? Oh, it was that this poison stamp killed Drew Measham, yeah? To which my brother responded thusly. There was no way to know when Measham would use the stamp.
Yes, that's right, which is why it couldn't have been planned.
Tell me, it needs to be planned. Why? Why couldn't it have been a coincidence? The defense's case is simply that Drew Measham died by that stamp. That's all. Coincidence. Christoph, you tried to slip out from under his accusation by changing the subject. If that's not bluffing, what is it? What are you up to, Clavier? I could ask you the same question, Christoph. I silenced the defense with the fewest words possible. It's called efficiency. It's called being a smartass. Ben Shapiro does it, you're not special.
But Mr. Gavin, that's impermissible testimony.
Very well. I shall take his claim head on, then. Justice. What? You accuse me of Drew Measham's murder, yes? Then allow me to ask you, what possible reason could I have to kill a painter?
Paolo, motive. He's talking about a motive. Indeed. It's hard to see how an attorney could come to want to kill a painter.
Now here's something. Why didn't he bring up the motive from the very beginning? Unless he was afraid it was a battle he might lose. So, what does it mean? It means there might be a weak spot. Maybe I have some evidence to prove a motive.
A motive for murder. This is a vital, if not the most vital, element in this case. Please consider this when making your statement.
I'd say it's about this vital. Bring it on.
Well, Mr. Justice,
I'm going through with this no matter what. Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence.
Then let's see what you have for us. What reason did Christoph Gavin have for wanting to murder Drew Measham?
I don't think I've ever used these paintings for evidence. Have I? But it's gotta... Oh, no, wait. Christoph Gavin's motive becomes clear when we consider why the stamp came to Drew Meacham's studio in the first place.
And why was that?
Forgery, Your Honor. Go back 7 years. Drew Meacham accepts his first job creating forged evidence.
I've seen that before. A page from a diary, wasn't it? Davy Growery's diary.
When attorney Phoenix Wright lost his badge, yes. This was the evidence he presented to his loss. This evidence is a fake, yes. But did Mr. Wright request the forgery be made? That was never proven. The defense attorney on that case was Phoenix Wright. Who other than him, drunk with the prospect of victory, could have done it? And why would they? Just out of curiosity, do you remember this letter? Oh, this is the first page. All we have to do is check that with Phoenix's handwriting. And this is the second.
Those were presented in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Meacham by the client who requested that forgery.
The enclosed stamp was none other than the poisoned commemorative stamp. Drew Meacham drew his last breath just the other day. However, the motive for his murder was already 7 years old. 7 years old. The client who requested this forgery was very cautious. He tried to erase anything and anyone with connections to the forgery.
To keep them from talking.
But he made a mistake. The killer's time bomb was delayed. The poison stamp was sealed within a glass frame, where it sat for 7 whole years. Herr Forehead, do you understand what you're telling us? The one who schemed up the forged diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp. And it was Phoenix Wright who presented the forged evidence 7 years ago. Adding the two statements together, the one who schemed to kill Drew Meacham was none other than Phoenix Wright. Nuh-uh. Sorry, but that's not how this is going to go down. Oh, then how will it go down? Me going down on you? I checked through the records on that case when I found this. 7 years ago, just before the trial began, and one more thing. Phoenix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have time to request a forgery. The day before? Now here's a question. Just who was Shady Enigmar's previous defense attorney? No, this can't all be... I gotta blow my nose, but it is all true. There was another man, a defense attorney with a badge on his collar. Yeah, what was his name? Polly. It was you, Christoph Gavin.
Order in the court. What is the meaning of this, witness? I mean, defendant, former lawyer?
Let me begin by denying this. It's easy enough to look up, Mr. Gavin, and impossible to prove if you can't. Huh? Attorneys are registered with the court the day before the trial begins. In other words, no record remains in the court. How exactly do you intend to prove Phoenix Wright's claim?
That would be difficult. I'm afraid this line of inquiry won't yield.
Herr Forehead, are you sure you don't have evidence? Clavier's evidence! He was the prosecutor on that case. What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks clammy. Evidence? Evidence that shows this man, Christoph Gavin, requested that forgery 7 years ago? Clavier. Just prove it. Clear up these doubts now, or I swear I'm off this case. He must have thought of some evidence, Apollo. Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain. That darkness. I have to pull that darkness out of him, and proof is the only way I can. What proves Christoph Gavin's link to Drew Measham? Well, Mr. Justice?
You claim Christoph Gavin requested a forgery of Drew Measham 7 years ago. Prove it.
It can be proven. Simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? This evidence does not...
Are you telling me the truth, Apollo Justice?
I am.
Then I say we give him the benefit of the doubt. Very well, but if you're right about this, be prepared for a penalty. Save the game!
Your Honor, you do the defense an injustice. Mr. Justice is clearly passionate about his claim. Should the penalty not match his passion? All right, all or nothing.
I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time. Well, Mr. Justice?
Fine, Your Honor. All I have to prove is any kind of link. Something that ties Christoph Gavin to Drew Measham, and I have something that clearly does the job.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Present your evidence. Show us the link between our witness and Drew Measham.
It's gotta be this. This evidence proves there's a link.
That scrap of paper? I'm afraid I can't let you submit that. You're in no grounds to do that.
Is there some problem?
There is.
How could you possibly have that? You couldn't.
Hey, that's Daddy's handwriting.
What?
Mr. Wright's handwriting? What is the meaning of this?
Ah, I see now. Yes, of course.
What do you mean, of course?
I just remembered I had a visitor yesterday. Phoenix Wright came to my cell, except I wasn't there. Phoenix Wright. When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away with reading my private mail.
Mail? You mean this letter was in your cell?
No. However, it appears Mr. Wright has yet to be cured of his bad forging habit.
Well, if it's a forgery, it's not a very good one. The handwriting is terrible.
But wait a minute. But Christoph, you just confessed that there was a letter very similar to this one in your cell. This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written in the real letter.
Reproduction?
When Mr. Wright visited Christoph Gavin's cell, he brought with him a small video camera.
What?
He recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin, and the contents of your personal mail. Regardless, this mockery of a piece of evidence will never be accepted by the court. Evidence based on a video a man with no authority whatsoever claims he took. A man who happens to be an ex-attorney suspected of forgery. Hey, pot, meet kettle.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Prosecutor Gavin? As embarrassing as it is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother is incapable of making rational judgments at the moment. Your Honor, your decision, please.
The defense's claim is denied. What? Only actual evidence is permitted in a court of law. Please remove the defense's evidence from the record.
Better luck next time, Justice. Did I lose?
Well, we've certainly taken a decoy from our cross-examination, but the defense appears to be lacking proof. I'm forced to end the cross-examination of Christoph Gavin at this point.
Apollo, do something. I'm thinking, but without evidence. I don't have anything I can use on it.
Very well. This ends the special witness's cross-examination.
This is bullshit. The show's over, yet the crowd screams for more. Only now do I understand why.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Frankly, I'm relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years, and I'm tired of the whole youthful angst scene. Now's our chance. Let's clean out the family closet, eh, Christoph?
Clavier, You're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say anything you'll regret.
Spinning out of whose control? Mine or yours? Take a moment to consider everything you've built. Your reputation as a prosecutor. Your fame with the masses. You could lose it all, Clavier.
Apollo, did you see that? He's trying to press Prosecutor Gavin.
Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember what's really important to you. You amuse me, Head. I couldn't forget what's really important to me, even if I tried. He says while looking at you, Apollo. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago. Look at him so young. Where did the years go by? Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you, have, right? Resist what? Presented solid evidence? Oh, God. Phoenix Wright's darkest day. You were in on it. I'm familiar with the trial. I've watched the video several times. Didn't you find anything unnatural about it?
Unnatural?
Well, you did seem unusually well prepared. I mean, Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence. And the next moment you call in Jumisha. It was almost as if... what? Funny. It didn't even occur to me to wonder. But now that I do, I see there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if from the very beginning, you knew Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence. Ah! Correct. I knew that if I applied the usual pressure, Phoenix Wright would eventually come up with that forged diary page.
Don't do this, Clavier.
I knew because you told me, Kristoff.
What?
It was the night before the trial. Clavier. I'll see you at the prosecutor's office the day before the trial. Oh my God. I won't be appearing in the trial, actually. Why not? I won't be facing off with you on your first trial, apparently. But in exchange, I brought information. Information. The attorney who will be there in my place tomorrow is not to be trusted. Don't even give him the benefit of your respect. Listen, I want you to call him a special witness. Then... I wondered about it for all the time. How did Kristoff know so much? Prosecutor Gavin.
Kristoff! We were supposed to face each other in that trial. A fair fight, brother to brother. I deserved that much.
You let me borrow the victim's belongings. You showed me all your research on the case. The victim's belongings, which would have included Magnifi's diary, wouldn't it?
Mr. Gavin?
My, Clavier, you disappoint me. You find trees, yet miss the forest. You're the one missing the forest, Mr. Gavin. Yeah. You can't sweep this under the rug, not anymore. Tell me what was going on behind that trial. Why not? I've achieved what I came here to do. I see no harm in a little reminiscing.
Apollo!
I think we're finally going to shine a light on the black belly of this thing, Trucy. We've done everything we could. I hope it's enough. 7 years ago, the day before the trial, I visited the detention center at the request of my client, Zach Gramery. How many times are we going to see this shit? I am not crazy. I am not crazy. I know he swapped those numbers. I know it was 1216, one after Magna Carta. As if I could ever make such a mistake. Never. Never. I just couldn't prove it. He covered his tracks. He got that... Okay, I'm done. To be honest, I don't know what his reasons were to this day. As far as I could tell, he dismissed me as his representation because I lost in a game of poker. I can come to no other conclusion.
Daddy used to say something. If you want to know a man, you have to compete.
Zach wasn't watching his points or the cards. He was watching the man behind his cards. Christoph Gavin. He was looking at his poker face. I couldn't believe it. Phoenix Wright, a second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs. He dismissed me, and what with that pitiful excuse for a man, and he gets to be a lawyer! What a sick joke! He deserved to die for that error alone. Jesus Christ! Hold it! Hold it! So, the one who requested that forgery was... Oh, I'm not admitting to anything. My point is... Those two men shamed me, and I could not forgive that. Phoenix Wright and Zach Grammery both deserved what they got. So you asked Mr. Measham to forge that evidence, so you could win. But then, when you were dismissed as Zach Grammery's attorney, you used your forged evidence as a trap. You fed me information about the forgery you made. Then you gave your dirty evidence to him. You're free to imagine what you will. My point is that all I had imagined came to pass. Everything went perfectly. Live judge reaction. Incredible. If I wasn't laughing, I'd weep.
Prosecutor Gavin.
Perfectly. You're mad, Christoph.
Stop fooling yourself.
What are you talking about, Clavier? Tell me, how did that trial end?
Cancelled when the defendant vanished.
I get it. So, Christoph, you've been living in fear for 7 years.
What?
You were afraid your forgery would be revealed and your reputation trashed. You couldn't leave things to chance. So you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years.
He always felt like he was being watched. That's what he said every day for 7 years. And I felt it too. Journalists sure he is being watched. End quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Grammery got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me? Wait just a minute. Zach Grammery was seen by this reporter? How is that possible? Was he alive after being gone 7 years?
Finally, I knew this moment was coming. I just didn't think we'd get here so fast. Zach Grammery, gone missing for 7 years. Trucy's father.
What's wrong, Apollo? Go get him.
Right. Leave it to me. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveler.
I remember him quite well. G. Smith, was it? Poisoned in a Chinese restaurant.
Tragic. The details don't really matter right now. What matters is that traveler was Zach Grammery.
What is it, Apollo?
Huh?
Keep going. We'll talk about it later.
Does she already know?
Someone please explain this. Mr. Justice, can you explain this?
Yaha! It all started 7 years ago. The great magician, Magnifi Grammery's death started it. Magnifi Grammery's death and his student Zach Grammery, the suspect. Whoever defended Zach in court successfully would be famous beyond belief. Thinking that, Christoph Gavin did the unthinkable. He forged evidence. Drew Misha. Actually, it was his daughter, Vera, who really did the work. You took precautions when you had that forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin?
Precautions?
To keep people from talking, of course. These two know too much. Leave them alive and there'll be nothing but trouble. That's when you planned your poisoning of the forgers. Atriconine. Applied to a commemorative stamp. But luck was on Mr. Measham's side. The bomb didn't go off.
His daughter! She saved him by taking the stamp, I see!
But that wasn't the only bomb he set up. The Ariadne nail polish, of course! You noticed something when he requested that forgery. When Vera Measham is nervous, she has a bad habit. A tendency to bite her nails. Ah, that nail polish was her good luck charm.
She was almost kidnapped. Once. Since then, she's been, well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house.
That person gave me a good luck charm. Oh my god. The one who wanted that note made. Oh! It was his insurance.
Insurance?
As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. But what if she had to go outside? If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous, and the nail polish would do the rest. His time bomb sat there for 7 years, and then they went off almost simultaneously. If you're finished, may I return to my cell now? I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time.
Mr. Gavin, have you heard a single thing we've said?
Oh, I listened quite closely to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction.
What?
Clavier, surely you understand. We're back to the evidence. The lack in evidence. Nothing proves a link between him and the Atrocanine that took Drew Measham's life.
What about the restaurant? You killed Zach Gramery, and the nail polish was in his cell to keep him from talking.
I killed no man of that name. Read over the report again if you like. The victim was a traveler by the name of Shady Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think I knew he was that particular fugitive. Okay, then why did you kill him? I plead my right to remain silent. Fuck! Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Measham, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial's been finished for 6 months now.
Scar point? I'm afraid we have strayed considerably from our purpose here. This court concurs with the witness. It is defendant Vera Measham who is on trial here. No, but you were doing so well, Apollo. As long as there is no evidence to support the accusation against him, this course of inquiry cannot find Vera Measham innocent.
Your Honor, Phoenix Wright spent 7 years collecting this evidence. You still don't get it, do you? Let us assume there was a poison in the nail polish. Who then was responsible for causing Vera Measham to bite her nails?
What?
It wasn't me, I know that much. The one who brought that poison to her lips was you.
That's stupid. If you put poison in someone's meal, the waiter isn't the one who poisons the person who eats it. You put the poison there. I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion. Your Honor, Mr. Justice, you have performed admirably well for a novice attorney. I respect your partner, Phoenix Wright's determination as well.
However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Clavier?
Unfortunately,
Yes, Kristoff, you're right. That is, you would have been right until now. What? Did the news not reach your desk in solitary? The eyes of the nation are on this courtroom today. This is the trial case for a new judicial system.
That's right. I'd totally forgotten. The jurist system.
Jurists, you say?
The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. This new system attempts to inject the wisdom of common citizens into the law.
Common citizens? Wisdom? Psychomantis? Is this some kind of a joke? What could we possibly gain from doing this?
We could gain a lot, you elitist asshole.
entrusting our judicial system to a mindless, emotional mob of irrational Routh regions. Oh my god, dude. This is the guy who says that democracy is bad because it allows for tyranny from the majority.
Common citizens have something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by the law. Nonsense. There's only room for two in this court. Me and the law. Keep the riffraff out. Out, I say!
They're not in the court, actually. They're watching everything by video game. Jesus Christ! I don't like this.
How can you allow this?
Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen was Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright? So, everything was leading to this, of course. Right.
I think that scream was a bit too high-pitched, and whatever.
Right. I won't accept. I can't accept. This is no court. Law. The law is everything. Law is absolute. You'd let ignorant swine soil your courts.
Christoph, it's over.
Come here.
The law is absolute. You can't be serious.
What?
Odd. I thought you spent your life looking for loopholes. The law isn't absolute. It's filled with contradictions.
Good point there. The law is the end product of many years of history, the fruit of human knowledge. Like a gem polished to gleam through trials and errors. It is this fruit we receive and pass on and face in our time. And it is always changing, growing, nurturing it is our task as human beings.
Except for you, Christoph. You aren't changing. You've stopped. You're not needed anymore.
Right!
That's better. If you want, you could edit that scream over the other scream, but no one's gonna do that. I couldn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough. But someday I'll know what law is, and I'll fight to change it if I have to.
I see no end to further prolong this trial. This began as the trial of Vera Measham, accused of murdering her father, the painter Drew Measham. However, several other incidents were reviewed, and we seem to have reached a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision. Jurists of the court. For the death of Drew Measham, how do you find the defendant, Vera Measham? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now to consider this matter.
This is one hell of a fourth wall break. This ends the trial for this case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Measham is currently in intensive care. If a decision cannot be reached today, it may never be reached. Factors involved are simple. Did the defendant poison her father that night? If so, she is guilty. Or was there another reason for Mr. Measham's death? Did another person poison him? If so, she is innocent. A panel has been provided for each of you to input your decisions. That is all.
Please wait.
Yes, jurist number 6? There's something in the jurist handbook here. Persons involved with the case may not be jurists. That is correct. I've looked into all your dossiers. None of you were involved with the development of the case. With the development of the case, I see. Does that answer your concern? It's time for your verdicts. Make your decision in the case against Vera Measham. After 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge wisely, judge well. Well, not guilty, obviously. Oh! Well, obviously I'm voting not guilty. Come on. Oh! Hey, my computer crashed while I was recording. It was a pain to recover that. But if that happens again, I swear to God, I'm gonna shove the Verizon guy up my ass. Not guilty. And so a verdict was reached on October 9, 2:14 p.m. The first verdict under the jurist system. Innocent by unanimous decision. The record will show that when the verdict was announced, Special Witness Christoph Gavin laughed. A laugh louder than any ever heard before or since. God fucking Kiro Death Note laugh. Fucking psycho. I can't say that now. He's plum loco. There we go. Cuckoo bananas. Fucking Daffy. In an intensive care ward, a true miracle occurred. Vera Measham opened her eyes. She also has been watching Silver Samurai. Vera, I'm so glad Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy too, and proud. You did well, Apollo. When I thought about what if Vera, Hey now, don't you start crying too. Sorry you had to see us like this. Vera? Thank you so much, Apollo. Thank you. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If I hadn't, you never would have bitten your nails. No, I was wrong. Staying locked inside like that played into my good luck charm. Vera, when I opened my eyes and saw you, I finally understood. It's important to be a part of the world, to see things with your own eyes. It looks like that poison had some effect after. What the fuck? It killed off whatever was holding back. Are you saying it was a good thing that she got poisoned? What the fuck is wrong with you, Apollo? I knew you'd pull through, Vera. I mean, that's what Apollo was fighting for the whole time. Your future. I won't forget it. Here, let me thank you. No, really, it's okay. Oh god, I thought she was gonna... Aww! Look, it's me! I love it. Thanks. Is that me? She really captured your essence, Apollo. Well, I think so, at least. That reminds me. Do you know where the other lawyer is? The other lawyer? Yeah, I heard he killed him. Oh, no, that lawyer. You mean Daddy, except he's not a lawyer anymore. It's my fault, isn't it? I'm sorry. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. No, it's okay. I'm through looking away from the things I've done. I hope I can look him in the eyes again someday and apologize. I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that. He brought all of those things for me when he came to visit earlier. The Silver Samurai DVDs. You mean that stack of videos? Mr. Wright finished watching them all? You know, I knew my real daddy was alive. Huh? I was there 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped him vanish from the courtroom. You did what? How? I'm not telling. He promised me that day he went away. And a magician never reveals their secrets. And then he'll die. Oh, Trucy. In the end, he couldn't keep that promise, could he? It's okay. Phoenix is my daddy now, even if he can't really play the piano. That he can't. Oh, and I've got you too, even if your voice is kinda loud sometimes. Glad I made your list. Hey, come to think of it, where is Daddy, the one who can't play? Do you know Apollo? I think he said he had to meet someone. I wonder. Maybe it's a new mommy. Keep dreaming. Oh, Trucy? Yes, Vera? I was wondering, could you show him to me once more? Sir Hat, was it? Oh, he's not been knighted yet. Here goes. Do us an impersonation, Mr. Hat. Objection! Not loud enough. And I like Miss Magic underwear better anyway. That's magic panties, Apollo! Anyway. No? Oh, I thought he was going to give his own ejection to show the difference. So, your memory's returned. Mr. Wright, was this all part of your plan too? I don't know what you're talking about. When I lost my memory, I was reborn as Lemire. Called it! But you knew my true identity, did you not? That is why you chose me as one of your jurists. Ah, you're thinking into it too much. Besides, there was no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy. Of course it is a happy thing. For so long I thought I was alone, but now I know I have children. 2 dear children. Oh, I'm so proud of them. This, too, I think, is thanks to you. Are you going to tell them? They do not know? Nope. They don't know their mother. They don't even know their siblings. I will go to them when the time is right. Until then, Don't worry, I'll take care of them for you. They're very important to me, too. A little annoying at times, but still. I have to keep an eye on her, at least. Because I'm the only one who knows how she really feels on the inside. Blah, 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 blah. Your bracelet. Yes, I've seen a lot of mysterious things these past 7 years. But your bracelets are the strangest of all. I remember meeting him half a year now in Christoph Gavin's office. And then I met you. 2 fates destined to intertwine. And I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that. Such a small thing that, but yet it tore who I was away. Gone! 10 years ago, during a simple rehearsal. Nah. It was a miracle no one died. But I didn't survive that accident. That is why I left the troupe. My family. Now my memory has returned. I am myself once more. For the first time, I am glad to be alive, Mr. Wright. Speaking of miracles, Varamisha regained consciousness this morning. I can only hope she's as glad as you are. It is a strange thing, fate. Sometimes a life is taken, sometimes a life is spared. You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily, really. As long as they've got something worth living for. Yeah, it's true. And that's pretty much the end of my story. For now, anyway. I've still got a long way to go. And this power of mine, well, it needs some work. But there's hope now. We lost it, but somehow we found it again. That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Yeah, I think I'll keep at this lore thing for a while. Oops, training time. Gotta go. Cords of steel, here comes justice! Objection! There we go. I have gotta pee. I'll let this roll.
Oh, hey, Emma. Glad you're here. She'll be in the next game. This is gonna take a while. I love her. You not so much. Mike Wazowski, you forgot to fill in your paperwork. Always watching. Okay. You. You can't be talking like that, white baby. Oh. You're gonna... You're trying to kill yourself. Are you trying to give your customers a heart attack? Oh, this pervert. Yeah, nothing to say to that guy. Why are you in jail? Oh, you're just interviewing him. Oh, is he in jail? Is he arrested? Is he... Weird guy. Been in jail for being weird. Maybe it's protective custody. I've decided to keep paintings originals only, of course. Oh, wait, did I get all the step ladders and ladders in this? Did I? Did I find all the step ladders and ladders in Apollo Justice game? This does not bode well. A special bonus, okay. Well, that's later. Next time we'll be playing this game. Or maybe the other Great Ace Attorney game, or the Ace Attorney Investigations game, or something completely different. Who knows, right?